with me. It is Wednesday, July 7th-ish. Let me look real quick. I tap this, I should get it. And then now it doesn't do it. Any other time it lights up. Nope, it's July 6th, Wednesday. Alright, that makes sense. Got a day ahead of myself. Here is a hostel, because most of you never get to see them. This is the expensive room. It's the private room. And this is the semi-private room. You share with one other person. Not of your choice necessarily. This is what a hostel looks like. So that's basically a tube here and a big one and a little one in there. So if it was crowded and everybody was agreeable, it would be like 5 or 6 people. And it's just upstairs. Now we come downstairs. Here's the joint dining table. A couple of refrigerators. And another refrigerator. And a washer dryer. And a place where no one's supposed to go. I imagine it's his warehouse and stuff like that in the basement. No entry, please. See? It's a no entry place. And here's the door to the outside. And this is the smoking lounge. Yes, more people smoke out here than I would imagine. I mean, on the trail in general. Actually, here it hasn't been that bad, now that I think about it. Maybe a couple of people who smoke, but not a lot. And this is the outdoor area for that and other outdoor activities. And this will be kind of messed up, but we got extra time on this machine. And there's somebody's keys. I didn't notice them before. And there's a clock. And yes, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, roughly. And the kitchen. And sinks, this is a communal kitchen. And you can see everything's labeled, so you can find things. And coffee is obviously an important thing. It gets its own table. 2 pots, no waiting. 2 makers. And a backup pot, because you wouldn't want a coffee revolt. They did that in Boston with tea and stuff, and it really turned out. British lost the whole country. So, oh, I didn't even notice those. I saw them on the other refrigerator. I just never stopped and read the ones on this refrigerator. They're postcards people send back. And this is the office for it's Charlie here. He's the hostel manager and the person in charge and running the place. And this is the stairway to the room I just showed you. So, now, here is the communal living room. 1, 2, 3 couches. Wow, reminds me of the home I grew up in. I didn't think about it. Love seat, a massage chair. This you don't see everywhere. You'll see little foot massagers and stuff like that. But this is an over-the-top massage chair. My guess is they probably got it at some kind of auction or something. It's got a foot bath. It's got more controls than a dentist chair. There are dentists out here who are saying, wow, my chair isn't that nice. Yeah, from what I understand. So, it's so over the top, it's a little intimidating. And what do we have here? We have a locked thermostat. That's funny. We used to get these in the Marines. They had, instead of plastic, they had a wire cage around them. And I'm awful. In order to adjust the temperature, I used to take a big Ziploc bag and some duct tape, and I would put ice in it if I wanted it warmer, or I would put hot water in it and just put it up here, or if I could get it to hang on top and stuff like that. And you could get a change, a few degrees here and there, without violating the cage. It was funny. anyhow, or you can put a stool underneath. It's better from the bottom if you're doing heat, but anyhow. Yeah, and there's the Medusa light. You can get those at Walmart. They're like 20 or 30 bucks, or Amazon. And then you have password. Most every place has free Wi-Fi, and they give you the router code. And most every place has some type of entertainment box and movies that are at least, 20 years old. And what else? And then food and all sorts of odds and ends. Oh, these are hiker boxes. Hiker boxes are, people are hiking with stuff and they realize, or they bought a thing and it comes in a 12-pack and they only needed 6, stuff like that, and they put it in here. Like you got wild rice in there and stuff that's been opened I don't think I would go for. But sealed stuff that's never been opened, And then there's all sorts of, this is food, I guess. But they'll have them for gear also, like shoes and stuff like that. People get a pair of shoes and realize they can't stand them. And what else? Okay, so now we'll go into the rest of the hostel. Nobody's here right now, so that's why I can do this. And I don't have to worry about upsetting anyone. And there is the AT map. And we are here? No. We are somewhere around here, I think. So we got a chunk of it done. But there's a lot more left. And somewhere around here is, you probably can't see what I'm pointing at. Here is the midway, the halfway mark. So I haven't examined it in depth. And here's one of the rooms. This is the bedroom. It's got 2 bunk beds in it, obviously. Number 7 and number 8. And it's not bad, And the way you can tell a thing is occupied is it will have someone's stuff on it or around it. So if they're gone for the day, nobody takes their bed when they come in. And the ones that have just a pillow and a blanket, and that's kind of universal in most places. You always, if you're going to leave, you leave something on the thing. Now, in between is the bathroom. Now, unfortunately, this is the only bathroom, so you got a lot of people sharing the bathroom. But what they did to alleviate the pressure, because if someone comes in to take a shower, that's anywhere between 15 minutes and an hour, depending on who the person is. And if you got to go, man, you're standing around like a 5-year-old, shaking your legs and holding your privates. So, I'll flip a light on it here, since I don't think I'll be bothering anyone. Wow, that closet has to be very small. Okay, anyhow, there's a closet door there behind the doors, which no one uses, and I'm thinking it might be a false door at this point. But you got, it's probably 1, 2, yes. And you can see all the bottom bunks are usually occupied first, and then the top bunks second. And I would say all the top bunks are free are available, and the bottom ones are taken. And because I'm old and he was trying to be nice to me, I got one of the semi-private ones upstairs, was mine, and was because it's not a top bunk. Although the top bunks don't really bother me, it's nice having a bottom bunk. So, and what I like most about it is I'm kind of sequestered from everybody else because of the compromised immune system. It helps. And I unintentionally started in that direction, so I already showed you the outside. And that will probably be it. Now I'll just discuss what's happened to me in the last couple of days. Is I did the, yesterday I took a day off basically. I hiked out from where I slept at a hostel at Punch Bowl Gap, and I got my stuff up and together, and I had trouble. I had trouble getting my butt every time. You know, when I just got up and I didn't feel it. I was dragged out the whole time and everything else, and it was an easy walk down to the road. It was less than half a mile, and as I'm walking, I says, well, I'll get to the road and then decide. Because sometimes, you know, you just don't feel like it for the first 10 or 15 minutes and you shake it off. But every time I stood up and put my stuff on, it was only about 10 steps and I was like wiped out already. So I thought about it, and I know my blood results are supposed to come in today, I hope, and see if there's anything way out, because I got my blood drawn on Thursday. And so it should be back by Monday, but I know it was a 3-day weekend. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm expecting to get the results back. And if they're good, then I'm going to continue going. If they're not good, I have to go back and get reassessed. So I figured, well, what the hell? I'll take the day off. Now I feel fine, and I'm ready to pack my stuff up and hit the road. I would really like to. I'm only 2 miles away from the 800 mark. And if I'm going to end up quitting, I'd rather quit at a nice round number, 8, 9, 2,100, and, you know, 2,200 would be nice. But anyhow, that's what's going on. I don't feel bad today. I feel great. I can go ahead and walk all day. That's how I feel. But I really did not feel that way yesterday. I was just lazy, and I said, if nothing else, it'll be a day off. And that's what I did. So I'm going to go ahead and take a shower now while I've got the whole place to myself. And I've obviously, the next video after this one will let you know what happened. I'm suspecting at this point that maybe it's going to be okay. It was just a one-day thing. The day before that, oh yes, that was a rough day. I was surprised. The day before that one, we go back there in case I didn't do it. It was, let's see, it was into the James River. It was 2 hours uphill, and I didn't get done. No, it was more than 2 hours. No, maybe it was 2 hours. Anyhow, I got done with that about 11-ish. Yeah, it took me a couple hours to get up that hill, and it was very slow. But the rest of the thing was, you know, more moderate and mostly on a downward trajectory. And I did okay. I did 10 miles. And then what happened the next day? Don't remember what happened the day after that. Oh, I know. I took figured I'd do a half a day, you know, and try and do 5 miles. However, you know, you have to go with what's available. And I got started in the afternoon, because after a big day, I like to do a moderate day, and then a big day, and then a moderate day. I like to oscillate them, so your body has time to recoup. And got started about 3 in the afternoon, and walked up to the first shelter on that leg after James River, and that was about 500 feet of elevation. So I figured, well, that'll knock out 500 feet. I wish it had been like 3 or 4 miles. It would have been better, because it would have knocked out that much more and been able to spread the bad part over 2 days. So I did that, and that was a beautiful shelter area. The water right there was like your own private little creek, and the porta potty was nice, and I forget the name of it, but you could look it up. It's right above the James River if I had to. And it was 2 miles from the road at the James River. And very pleasant. I got out the next morning. Not bad timing. Just a little later than I would have liked, but it was like it was 8 o'clock, give or take a half an hour. Probably 7:30ish, because I remember I was kind of happy. I would have been happier with better. And I went up that hill, and there were spots that were steep. All in all, it wasn't too steep a hill for most of it. Sections were, but it was the long trudge, and I'm stopping, you know, definitely stopping and sitting every half hour, and stopping every 5 or 10 minutes just to catch my breath for 10 or 15 breaths, and then move forward. And to make the long story short, there, it was about 4 o'clock before I bridged the top of that. Now the big problem with that one is, and the reason that first shelter was so nice was it had plenty of water, but it's the last spot you could get water for 9 miles, 9+ miles. So I had to go ahead and I filled up every nook and cranny I could. I filled up the 2 2-liter bottles, the 2 half-liter bottles, and then I had another 1.5 to 2 liters on top in the dirty water bag that had to be filtered when I got to it. But and that's the first place I emptied because it's off balance, it's in an awkward place, etc., etc. But you can carry water there when you need to. So I had about 5 liters of water, definitely 4, and went up there, and I drank as much as I could before I left, which was at least 16 ounces, which is virtually a half a liter. I know 17 is a half, but the bottles come in 16, so I round it. Anyhow, I took off, and boy, it was a good prediction. I got 4 o'clock by the time I got to the top of that hill, and it was tough. And I was ready to stop and camp at that point. I was like, okay, I am done. But I could see that it was only like 3 miles to the next spot. And now it's mostly downhill, and then I'd have a better spot for hanging up the hammock. Because I would have stopped up there at the top. But one, it was kind of far. I only had like 1.5 liters left of water. And I wanted to make sure I got to the next water so I wouldn't be in danger. And I'd like to be like a half a mile away. I'd like to be right there, but a half a mile away to a mile is not so bad. So part of me wanted to continue. And then I looked for places. Now, if I'd had a tent, I could have tented right up there. It was a big open thing where the fire tower used to be, or communications tower, the big cement things, footings. But the tower, all the structure was gone. And I did not even stop and look around, because I would have pulled the camera out to video, because it's a nice place to look at things. Obviously, it's the highest point. And then I said, okay, I might be able to make it. At least I'll get further. I'll get like within a mile of the water source. And so I started walking and walking, and it was a piece of cake then, because it was mostly downhill, and it was after 5 o'clock by the time I really got walking, and it was cooling off, and it was beautiful. I have found that if the weather gets up near 80 degrees, much over 75, it slows me down. No matter what I do, I'm not trying, it just happens. All of a sudden I look at the thing and say, how come I went so slow? And it's partially because of the heat. You combine that with the elevation, and I was very slow. Because I think it was only 6 miles. It took me all day to get those 6 miles up to the top of that hill. And the next 3.5 miles only took an hour or two. So anyhow, it was dark by the time I was into the shelter area, because I just kept on going. I was like, do another half hour, do another half hour. And I half-houred myself all the way to where I was going for, what I was shooting for. So I did make it. I made my target. It was over, well, obviously 9 miles. It was over 9 miles. And I just set up and went to bed. Set up and took a nap. And that's what happened. And then I woke, like I said, I woke up. That's where I started. I started at the end and moved my way back. I apologize for that. And yeah. So you already heard the end of that story and where I am. This is Staminal's Hostel, and it is one of the nicer ones. It's on the top end. It's $35 a night, and Charlie's very good. One of the nicest and friendliest people you'll ever meet. And he does shuttles, which is driving you around from here to there, and he'll give you the prices, and he'll try and make it affordable for you if he can. If he's got somebody else going in the same thing, he'll get the two of you together, and you try and compromise on the time, and then you can split the cost, stuff like that. So that's nice. and he'll tell you, which way things are, and your options. Like before I left the other day, he went in and said, okay, there's a road crossing here, 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 and here. If you want to get out on any of those ahead of time, that's fine. I can pick you up on any of those, and stuff like that. He's very good, and he makes blueberry pancakes every morning. If you're a fan, that's great. And in the evenings, sometimes he'll make some kind of dessert. Not always. And that's about it. You can bring stuff from the store because he's got the refrigeration here, and you can cook stuff yourself. You've got access to the oven and the and the stove and all those nice things. And I have some cans in the car, so I did cook up myself some soup and stuff. I carry stuff in the car so that when I'm at the car, I can have stuff that you would not carry on your back, in your backpack, just for a change. Because when I get to a town or a place where I can, I just want to eat something that haven't been carrying for a week. So, alrighty. That should do it for this video. It's a little extra long, but I did want to give you a tour and give you an idea, since most of you will never be in one of these places or see one of these places. Matter of fact, let me open the refrigerator and give you an idea what that looks like. Then I've got to get on with my day, or I'll be here for another week. And ba-ding! That's what the refrigerator is. The sodas, any soda is $1. Doesn't matter what one you want. I don't know about the rest of the stuff. Some of it's labeled, some of it isn't. And over here, ice cream, same thing. They're all at like $1 or something. And pizzas are $5. You can pick your flavor. And he restocked those because I bought one the other day. And that's about it. All right. And, oh yeah, you're free to use the washer whenever you want. You're not supposed to put your shoes in there like someone did last night. I heard him say, no, we don't do that here. Nope. Someone was going to wash their shoes with their laundry. All right. Which was funny. And yes, you have a microwave and what other? Oven, stove, pots, pans. Those are the pizza trays there. And a toaster, which I didn't notice before, but I assumed they had one anyhow. All right, I will go. Now, I will go. It is July 6th, Wednesday. And see you later. Bye-bye. Hey, it's Thursday. What number? Hell, I don't know. It's a single digit. It's after the 4th. Let me double check. To be nice, it's Thursday, July 7th. And it's damn near 9 o'clock. I've been walking for a little while. I don't know how far. I'm going to look at that in a second. And I thought you might, if I'm not shaking too much, be able to see this on this piece of trail. Today is supposed to be an 11-mile walk. If I get there 2:30, there's a ride waiting for me to the end. And if not, I have to get there by 4:30, or I'm doing an overnighter, which I'm not prepared to do because I'm slack-packed. So, took yesterday off. Didn't really intend to, but the day before I wasn't feeling very good, and it's like I was waiting for my blood results to come back, and they didn't. So that's that. I will get in touch with you later. Bye-bye. And here's Mr. Turtle. Hi, Mr. Turtle. Do you have anything to say for the subscribers? Both of them? Nothing, huh? Alright. Would you like to play a game Mario Brothers? Nah, I didn't think so. Alright. Have fun. I won't bother you any longer. It does look like there's a interesting looking lake coming up. I'm guessing. I have no idea what it is. So, see you in a little while. I'm going to have to walk over Mr. Turtle to get down the road. Hope that doesn't upset him too much. Bye-bye. Alright, guys. 800 miles. I made it. I'm in Virginia, and I've walked 800 miles to get here. Only 300 this year, but you add the two together. And there's the emergency number in case you get right to this spot and drop dead. You call 911. Well, you call just before you drop dead. So, and there's 800. And that's on the tree. Alrighty. Today, the start of the day was beautiful. It was like a walk in the woods. About a couple miles back, we started getting more elevation. And, it's tough. I can't spend long on this, so I have a ride waiting. And I'm supposed to be there at 4:30, and I'm not going to make it at 4:30. I'm going to be there about 5 probably. And that's if things aren't too bad. So, I have to cut this short. I want to do a little more celebration here, but can't do. Alright. See you in the future. Bye-bye.